Me again. So yeah, for another Ology video. So yeah, here we go with the video. So today's Ology is Parapsychology, which is a study of the mental phenomena which are excluded from or inexplicable by the orthodox science of psychology. It focuses on things like hypnosis and telepathy, that kind of thing. And it kind of deals with like the investigated of purportedly psychic phenomena, known as clairvoyance, extrasensory perception, telepathy, and that kind of thing. It was first recorded in 1925 to 1930 with the words para for paranormal and psychology. So yeah, if you want a definition of psychology, look at my one of previous videos. So yeah, now, parapsychology is a scientific study of interactions between living organisms and their external environment that can seem to transcend the known physical laws of nature. And one is a component of a broader study of the conscious mind. There's kind of like five broad areas. Now, which are telepathy, which is the mind-to-mind communication through like a means of other means than a normal sense, like now where I'm talking. There's clairvoyance or remote viewing, which is like the knowledge of objects, people, and events that are hidden via like space or hidden from space or time. For like an object hidden in a box in a different room, a photograph sealed in an envelope that is occurring, that is of like a loved one who is thousands of miles away, or the characteristic of a room that only existed in the past. Then there's precognition, which is like the knowledge of an event that has not yet occurred, and that information that it appears to be transferred from the future to the present. Then there's like PK or psychonesis, which is known as psychonesis, which is like mind matter with like interaction with matter at like a distance, which can be seen as like me communicating with my telly over there, or like me getting into contact with like people I know to be like in other countries, like far off countries, like the United States. Where like the mind interactions with like living systems can include like energetic healing, sometimes included in like this category. And then there's like survival studies, which is like the nature of human consciousness and the examination of whether consciousness survives the physical form. And it can include like mediumship research, reincarnation, out-of-body experiences like apparitions and ghosts and their activities. So yeah. Now, like physical research or physio research, as it is often known as in as it is now known in parapsychology, refers to like the experimental and the quantitative study of paranormal phenomena. And where paranormal means is like besides or beyond the normal, and is used to describe phenomena that are not explicable in a term of our usual understanding or current scientific knowledge and awareness. Whereas it name might indicate parapsychology, sometimes considered a sub-branch of psychology, since it involves like the study of like apparent mental faculties. But in its like modern form, parapsychology is an interdisciplinary field which has attracted like physicists, engineers, biologists, psychologists, and those from like other sciences. So like and parapsychology has like no formal affiliation with like contemporary psychology, and isn't really studied in like most psychology departments. And like Joseph Banks Rhine, who was originally a botanist by formal training, studied psychology at like Harvard, and then Duke with William McDougall. And Rhine is considered to be the founding father of parapsychology, as he and McDougall kind of coined the term as an area of like scientific inquiry. And it's like as they were kind of inspired by a lecture by Arthur Conan Doyle on the possibility of communicating with the dead, and he initiated a formal laboratory and field research on paranormal phenomena at Duke University. So yeah, that's why he started the Journal of Parapsychology, and the journal founded like the Parapsychological Association, and edited several editions of the book Extrasensory Perception, and his Rhine Research Centre and Institute of Parapsychology, originally affiliated with Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, eventually later became a independent entity in itself. And it's like, and although there was like some evidence that the data produced by some of his assistants may have been fraudulent, Ryan himself was known for rigorous lab research and approach to like the statistical analysis of things. There's pay a lot of attention to statistics these days. The Pierce-Pratt study, and then later like the Pierce-Pratt studies were the most famous of those emanating from Ryan's lab purporting to provide like conclusive evidence for ESP, and which were conducted from October 1933 to March 1934 under supervision of the Ryan graduate student J.G. Pratt, when it was known as the Campus Distance Series. They centered on one of Ryan's most successful subjects, Hubert E. Pierce. The goal of the experiment was to set up like experimental conditions to exclude all possible factors other than ESP. Pratt shuffled and then recorded like the xenocards in this psychology lab. And then with Pierce situated in another building, guessed the order of the cards. Pierce's performance was generally well above chance and is often cited as proof of the existence of ESP, but subsequent analysis however reveals that the experiment may have been flawed, as reports of the experiment conducted in regards to the procedures and results, so ascertaining the facts is difficult. So like the essential features of the experiment were not reported, and so there's no way of knowing whether the experiment was safeguarded. Experiment safeguards were adequate in this area. Like known features of the experiment design allow the possibility of like trickery and like for it being false. And for example, when Pace was left unobserved while he made his predictions, and he could have watched Pratt unobstructively and record the card sort order. And like Yuri Geller is famous for his mind-bending spoons, as well as other metal objects like keys, with fixed and broken watches and clocks with a stroke of hand, and find like precious metals using his own special powers. And he also received acclaim for his acts of telepathy and clairvoyance. Geller became like famous in the 1970s when he took his acts on the road. And he'd perform for his phenomena on TV and radio appearances all over the world. And he's even performed to like a team of scientists at the Stanford Research Institute, as his psychic powers were worthy of further scientific studies. And some is like one of the greatest demonstrators of like psychic phenomena like of all time, while his supporters insist that he's a psychic marvel. Like some skeptics claim that Geller's only power are those of a master illusionist, which is slightly different. But Geller refused to perform his psychokinetic feats in front of magicians, and he also refused to bend spoons to which he has not had prior access to, while acknowledging that his feats could be accomplished by trickery. He claimed that his own are psychic in nature. So yeah, that more or less concludes the video today. So yeah, I'll leave you all wondering where. Now let me know in the comments below whether you believe in ghosts or not, and whether all this exists or not. So yeah, I'll see you all very soon. So yeah, bye for now.